Hey kids, it's me. Glad to see you again. Hey kids, it's that special time of day where I sing you a story. So, let's meet our friend again. His name is Paul. Paul the sausage. Paul is walking along a beautiful beach. What's he doing at the beach, kids? I don't know. Let's ask Paul. Unfortunately, Paul doesn't have vocal cords because he's a sausage. He can't answer. Oh well. Maybe we'll find out along the course of the story. So, what's this? Paul is bending down. Not entirely sure how this is possible, considering he doesn't actually have ligaments or bones, but he's bending down anyway. He's picked up a stone with his unusual sausagey appendages. I wouldn't call them arms. So, he looks at this pebble. It reminds him of the planet he's standing on. Floating through space, totally useless, he realizes how pointless he is. He doesn't even have a functioning brain or eyes or lungs or mouth or bones. That gets him down. But who gives a shit? He's a sausage. So, Paul goes home. It's around 7 a.m. Paul was out all night, staring at this stone, wondering why he is alive, overlooking the fact that he's not technically alive. He might have been alive back when he was the dick of a pig, but not anymore. Anyway, what's his name? Paul. He's ready to go to work. He puts on his little sausagey suit. On a side note, it was extremely difficult to find a suit for a sausage. He had to get it specifically tailored anyway. He tightens his little sausagey tie and he walks out of the front door. On an additional side note, Paul had an extremely hard time finding a job. On account that he doesn't actually have any practical skills, he left college without finishing. Also, he's a sausage. Not good in interviews. Anyway, Sausage Man Paul walked back to his boring office job. He actually is a typist. He works in the Daily Mail, typing up bullshit that they tell him to write. On a side note, Paul knows that he's actually a benefactor to the fall of our society. But he's a sausage, so he doesn't really say much. Anyway, today's story for Paul to write about is regarding pigs going extinct. This brings a tear to Paul's eye. Anyway, he starts typing so furiously, his little fingery, sausagey finger gets broken on the S key. Unfortunately, his job doesn't provide healthcare and he's not actually English. He's in America. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, kids. It's kind of an important plot point considering there is no NHS. Even though I'm not sure if the NHS would cover him considering he's a sausage, but anyway. his job. Actually, hold on, he works for the News of the World, but anyway, the American branch. So he can't get his finger fixed. So, yeah, he's very sad about this. So he decides to end it all. He decides to end it all. His name's Paul. He's a suicidal sausage who lacks a finger. Which, to be honest, is quite fortunate because most sausages lack all the fingers. He's only missing one. Anyway, Paul, not being very creative considering he's a sausage and has very few brain synapses, decides he'll crush himself. A poetic message. Perhaps it'll indicate to the world that they have already crushed him, his soul. No one will notice he's a sausage. Anyway, considering he's only about an inch tall, perhaps 3, I'm not really good, I'm not sure how big an inch is. He hooks up an interesting contraption, like the ones you see on TV, where you press a button, then a ball rolls down the hill, and then it does all this crazy shit, and then, you know, something really basic happens at the end. You know what I'm talking about, I didn't explain it very well, but you know.
Like Mousetrap.
Yes, like Mousetrap. Thanks, kids. So he does that.
No.
He pulls the lever. That knocks a little ball down a ramp, and that sets fire to his house. Not that complicated, but he's a sausage. To him, it was like the fucking Mona Lisa. So, his house is burning down. Brick for brick turns black, he turns his back as it goes. He's a sausage, a homeless, slightly charred sausage. Unfortunately, he forgot to take into account that he's actually he's actually a sausage. And they're meant to be put into heat. In fact, it just makes them even more delicious. Good job, Paul. With the realization of this fact, Paul is even more depressed. Oh, poor Paul. Fuck, I can't play the guitar at all. So Paul, dead set on ending his life, he walks down the street past a fox with a face smeared in shit and a dead and a very depressed looking ice cream crab. There's a reference to a song I did earlier. This is for the sake of the recording, by the way, because I haven't actually recorded that one. So, guess what Paul did, kids?
He died.
You're meant to shout what? What did he do? Go on. What did he do?
What did he do?
Well, Paul walked down the street, as I said, past that unfortunate scene, across a bridge, where he met a wonderful sausage woman called Susan. Unfortunately, Paul didn't actually have eyes or mouth, so he couldn't communicate with the sausage, so they looked at each other wistfully and then walked away. Fortunately, by this point he was already on a bridge, with a very unfortunate badger now at the bottom. And the sausage fell out of the pan.
That's pretty good. Wait a second.
What?
If he's blind, right, how is he working in the Daily Mail?
They felt very sorry for him, alright? They put him there on a course. He joined...
It's a keyboard in Braille or something.
Yes, it's a Braille keyboard. It's not that unusual, come on, man. There are other things you could pick out, like, I don't know, he's a sausage. Not the fact that he's blind.
I gathered that.